visionary, an entrepreneur, a business owner. You want to make money from your passion and create the freedom that you've dreamed of. But it's slow. The income is slow, the impact is slow, and the freedom is slow. And here's the kicker. You've actually never been busier. You're working longer than ever, burning through daylight, and your family have forgotten who you are. You're tired and frustrated and you can't even sleep well at night. The business just feels so heavy, and all you ever wanted to do was just make the money you want to make doing the things that you want to do. And that's where I come in. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. Storme, and I'm the host of the Business Acceleration Podcast, where we shift your business from heavy to light, time poor to time abundant, and from income lack to income growth. We're going to achieve it together with my 20 years experience as a psychologist, helping people just like you to break through their barriers. And we're going to throw in a little of the woo as well. So thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Business Unleashed podcast. If we haven't met yet, g'day, my name is Dr. Storme. I'm a business alignment strategist, and yes, in my other life, I'm also a psychologist, and I work with clients who've already had coaching and who've already done all of the courses, but they still haven't got the shifts and transformations that they want. I stand for doing the inner work, and so that's what we're all about today. And what I want to talk with you about now is, as some of you may be aware, I'm in the middle of launching for my current round of coaching. And so every, 3 months, I open the doors and I invite applications from 5 business owners to come and join me for 90 days of coaching. And anyway, what's popped up is I've had... probably been inundated actually. I can show you, I can take a screenshot of my messages and show you. I've had just a flood of people wanting discovery calls. And a lot of people are, writing to me saying, I want to book a free 1-hour discovery call. And they're going into my diary and they're booking these 1-hour discovery calls. And then I'm having to go back to these people and say, actually, I don't do them. And anyway, people are very curious as to why not. So I thought today it's probably a good topic to talk about. And here we go. I guess the reason is that I don't like them. I've been on the receiving end and hoodwinked by some very slippery coaches and by some very slippery salespeople, hoodwinked into things that I guess I wasn't fully aware of. I know the responsibilities on me, but I wasn't fully aware of. I got myself into some hot water with different contracts, with different coaches, and couldn't get out of things. I'm still stuck paying $40,000 just about for 2 coaches that I didn't even ever get to meet with. And it all came about as a result of me booking a discovery call. So I've seen others fall prey to the same. I've also had some really good coaches, and I have been educated in the machinations of discovery calls by 3 of them. And I'm acutely aware now that the aim of the game is not to serve your audience, but rather it's to make the sale, close the deal, whatever you want to call it. We're taught how to manipulate the conversation so that people are going to buy. And I just don't like it. It makes me feel disgusting. It makes me feel gross, and it makes me feel really, really sad. Like, it's so out of alignment with my perception of what integrity means for me. Some of the training that I participated in actively encouraged what could only be referred to as taking advantage of people. And this really resonated with me. The reason that people agree to talk on a call in the first place is because they're stuck. There's a problem. They're desperate. And let's face it, it must be pretty bad if people are willing to go on a sales call. I mean, think about all the people who sell stuff door to door. Most of the time we're shutting the door on them. We're not inviting them in for afternoon tea and coffee, It doesn't make any sense to do that unless you're in a really stuck place. So this person is already at a power imbalance, so to speak. You can imagine they're probably feeling quite vulnerable, stressed, worried, and they're coming to that call thinking naively that you're going to do what you say you will and give them a quote-unquote blueprint so that they can, quote unquote, up-level their business in the next 12 months and make their $1 million. And anyway, it's BS. Okay, sorry. I think that the calls are really geared around getting money out of vulnerable people by taking advantage of that. And I just don't like it. I won't condone it. I want no part of it at all whatsoever. Thank you very much. It just goes against every fibre of my being. Those that know me, even people I've never met, but that follow me on Facebook or visit me through my website, will reach out. They'll contact me and they'll ask me for advice on this or that. And I always help them, always. And I never, ever, ever ask for money. That's 100% the truth. And many people will attest to that exact fact that I've just shared with you. I mean, last week, for example, I spent probably 2 hours helping somebody with her marketing campaign, who I don't even know so well. She just reached out and she said, hey, I'm not getting any responses to this. What do you think's going on? And we rebranded her marketing campaign. We reworded everything. We updated her messaging, and now she's fully booked. And I didn't charge her a single cent. I like to help. But discovery calls aren't like that. Discovery calls are about getting money out of people. Hands up if you've ever participated in a discovery call with someone and you felt at the end of it like you'd been deceived, misled, manipulated, or found yourself agreeing to things that cost you later that you may not have agreed to at the beginning of the call. In saying that, guys, I appreciate that people need to make a living. And I know that there are also some good people out there who are quite altruistic and they do the discovery calls. And of course, if you're one of them, I'm not referring to you. Please don't be offended by this. So I guess one of the other things that comes up is somebody said to me recently, well, I don't like when people do discovery calls or when people do webinars and things like that, because they're just going to hit you up with a high ticket sale at the end. And, I don't like that at all. I think that's misleading. Well, excuse me, what are you talking about? I went to London recently and I had a makeover at Dior. And guess what? The girl at Dior, she gave me a little sample bottle of perfume. And she said to me, if you like this perfume, would you like to buy some? And then that got me thinking. And I started to think about all of the other times people had given me samples of things to see if I liked it. And if I liked it, then of course I was going to go and buy it. You can probably think of examples where you've received samples of things. If you're in Melbourne and you go to the Melbourne show, no doubt in your show bags you have received samples of things. And if you like it, then you're going to go to the shops and buy a full size, whatever it is, next time you go, right? Whether it's shampoo, conditioner, whatever. So when it comes to perhaps something like a webinar, I think it's kind of the same. Somebody is saying, here's a sample of what I do, and if you like it, you're welcome to buy the full-size product. And I see no problem with that whatsoever. I don't. People can opt in, they can opt out, whatever they like. They're in full control the whole time. You're transparent from the beginning. There's no BSing, nothing like that. It is so, so different from a discovery call. The second thing that I want to raise is somebody on my Facebook, who shall remain nameless, has said, well, it's really important to do these sales calls or discovery calls so that we can see if we are a good fit. Because if we're not a good fit, then what's the point? And I think to myself, that's BS. What the H is going on here? I don't know of any other industry, in the health and wellness space anyway, that gives out free 1 hour sessions. I can't go to my dentist and get free work done and, all for the purpose of me deciding if he was going to be a good fit for me. I can't go to a psychologist and have a free 1 hour session and decide at the end of it, I wonder if she's going to be a good fit for me. I can't go to an acupuncturist and have an hour of acupuncture and then decide, I wonder if this acupuncturist is a good fit for me. This is BS. Where on earth did this even come from? So then I started thinking about it, and it rubs me the wrong way because, well, I guess there's this thing called doctor shopping in the health and wellness industry, and that's where people go around from doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor, having single consultations here, there and everywhere until they get the diagnosis or they get the medication or they get the whatever it is they want from a particular doctor. And it's annoying because it's hard for a doctor to treat a client who has been hopping around and has been inconsistent with the treatment. And it's frustrating for a client too, who is perhaps genuine and wants help and is getting different opinions from everybody, right? Now, think about somebody who agrees, right? A desperate person agreeing, because you don't agree to a sales call unless there's a big issue. So we know that this person's got a big issue. We know that they need help. We know that they're considering getting help. Why on earth would you encourage them to have a 1 hour call with you and then they go away from that and they have to think to themselves, I wonder if I want to work with Lexi? And then they contact me and they're like, oh, hey, Brooklyn, do you want to give me a 1 hour free session so I can see whether or not we're going to be a good fit? Then I give them a session. And then they say, I think I'll try somebody else. And they just go hopping around from person to person with the same problem, right? It is confusing for that person because all coaches, all health practitioners, while we all have similar structures, we all have different things that we bring to it. We have different energy, we have different opinions, we have different personal styles, we have different rapport building strategies that we use, we have different resources, different tools, stuff like that. So while the bare bones might be similar from professional to professional in a certain industry, the approach is going to be very, very different. And I just can't get on board with encouraging clients to essentially doctor shop with their coaches. And I think too, having worked with people who've been on a gazillion different discovery calls, because that's something I ask my clients, have you had discovery calls before? Like, how many have you had? And they'll say 10, 15. They're not just only talking to you. They're talking to as many people as they can because they're bootstrapped, they're stuck for money, they're desperate, they're needing help, they need a solution to their problem. And so because of all of this, they grab the free stuff here, there, here, there, here, there. Not all of them, but I'm generalizing, obviously, and I don't want to offend anybody, and I know what I'm saying is probably offensive, but I just want to really emphasize a point here. I don't think as a coach you do anybody any favors by giving them a free session. I think there are other ways around this. I think you could do something like, instead of calling it a free 1 hour discovery call, why don't you call it an interview and give them 15 minutes, right? Because let's think about this from your perspective. Isn't your time valuable? Mine is. I'm $500 an hour. Why would I give up an hour of income, God knows how many times a week to give away free calls here, there and everywhere? I wouldn't ever be able to pay my rent. It doesn't work like that. My times are valuable, and I value my time, and I expect other people that I work with or that want to work with me to value my time as well. So I don't do discovery calls. I think if you wanted to, probably my advice would be don't call it a discovery call and don't push a sale on anybody, and don't come at it from that energy. I think you have to come at it from the energy of you genuinely want to help somebody, and I think you have to call it an interview if it's really around good fit, and I think you keep it to 15 minutes. That way it doesn't really impact on your billing or your ability to turn over an income. I think if you want to call it a discovery call, you be very clear from the beginning and you say to that person, listen, I can give you 15 minutes. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have during that time. And then at the end of that 15 minutes, I want to have a conversation with you about how serious you are about coaching. And set it up from the beginning so the person doesn't feel misled, deceived, ripped off, abused, taken advantage of, or anything like that. Just be clear about your intention from the beginning. And I think don't do them for free. Charge. Work out what your hourly rate is and charge it. And guess what? You'll have a higher attendance rate. This is the other thing. Coaches come to me and they're like, oh, Brooklyn, I had 11 discovery calls booked in this week and only 2 turned up. And I've sent the others messages and this and that, and they're ghosting me and everything. Well, I mean, you've just lost 11 hours there where you could have been generating income for your business. Don't do it. Set aside maybe a couple of hours a week and you say, oh, all right, on Friday mornings from 8 till 10, I'm going to be available for 15-minute coaching calls. And you segment your time in Acuity Scheduler or your calendar on Calendly or Google Outlook or whatever it is you're using, and you set them up for 15-minute appointments. That's it. And you put terms and conditions perhaps in the appointment notes that says the intention of this call is to help you get some clarity on a couple of issues around your business and to see if we're going to be a good fit to be able to work with each other. The fee for this call is going to be X. Here's the PayPal link or whatever, or Square or whatever you're using. But people will show up and people will engage. And guess what? If they don't, that's okay because they're not your ideal client anyway. All right. You want people who value your expertise, your knowledge, your time, because they're the ones that you want to be working with. You want the ones that are going to commit, the ones that are going to show up, the ones that are going to invest. Okay. Anyway, so this is why I do not do discovery calls. If someone needs help, contact me. I'm happy to give you a bit of help and I'm happy to give you a bit of support. If you want something more in depth though, you're going to have to enroll in coaching, and you can do that 5 times a year. I see 5 people every 90 days and they're the ones that I work with. All right. I don't work with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. And I don't have group coaching at the moment either. That's it. If you don't want to invest in coaching, it's only $125 a week with me. But if you don't want to invest in that, that's fine too. You can get all the free stuff from the podcast, from the Facebook group, from the Facebook page, from the website. That's fine. Okay. And if you want to watch the replay of the webinar, that is up for not long. What's today's date? It's the 5th. That comes down at midnight on the 7th of October. So I'll put the link in the show notes for you and you can have a quick look at it. It's got loads of tools and techniques and strategies in there that you can use to get your diary more bookings, so you can start to get more money coming in, and then you can reinvest that money back into your business for things like advertising or extending your services or your branding or something like that. All right, because you're in business to make money. That's not the purpose, but if you're not making money, obviously it's not a business, is it? It's a hobby. So you have to get okay with making money. And if you're not, let me know and I'll help you with some of the inner work, because that's my jam. Anyway, rant over. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any comments, of course, please don't hesitate. I know this is a controversial subject. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of value from it. Help me help others by sharing this podcast. And if you feel called to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, remember to let me know so that I can send you a very special thank you gift. Now go and build your dream business, and I will see you next time. Bye.